Namaste children, it's our grade 4 English class. Before moving into the topic, let us recall our previous session. What we had in the last session? Do you remember? Yes, homophones. It is just a pair of words which sound similar but it has different meaning and different spelling, right? And also we saw informal letter. Have you all done this in your note? Good. So in today's class what we are going to see is we are going to see a lesson, going to sweep, and then we are going to see a poem, bookshop. So in that we can see the imagination of the author about the books and then vocabulary and grammar part. Let us move on to the lesson.
Going to Sleep. It is by Charles Herbert Clark. He was an American author. His best known work was Out of the Hurly-Burly, which was very successful during his time. Here, Mr. Wilberforce Fogg tries his best to fall asleep one night, but he could not because of all the things that happen around him. Let us move on to find out if he is able to fall asleep at the end. Right? Yes. One night he was not able to sleep. He tried very hard to make himself sleepy, but he just could not. Then he remembered something that he had read in a book once. It was about a man who could not sleep. The man in the book had managed to fall asleep by imagining that he saw a lot of sheep jumping over a fence and by counting them as they jumped. I'll try that, he said to himself. So he closed his eyes and he imagined that sheep jumping over a high fence and he started to count it. When he reached his 140th sheep, he started to doze off. That is, he started to sleep. When he reached 140th sheep, suddenly what happened? Mrs. Fogg said, Wilberforce, I think the yellow hen wants to lay eggs, she said suddenly when he was about to sleep. He said, Oh, don't trouble me with such things now. Do keep quiet and go to sleep, he said. He was much irritated and then he went back to his sheep again. He counted and got up to 120 sheep. He was about to fall asleep. And then what happened? The baby began to cry. Be quiet, Mr. Fogg shouted. And then he asked Mrs. Fogg to take care of the baby and put her to sleep. When Mrs. Fogg had finally put the baby to sleep, Mr. Fogg decided to try counting his imaginary sheep again. And then again he had just finished counting the 64th sheep. And then what happened when his aunt knocked on the door and asked if he was awake? She said that he had forgotten to close the back door. She thought she had heard thieves in the backyard. Backyard means a large open space at the back of a house. Mr. Fogg got up from the bed and in anger went down to check. He found the door firmly closed. He was much irritated again. And then when returning to his room, he decided to count sheep once again. This time he reached 240 sheep. He was nearly asleep. Again what happened? The neighbor's cats started fighting loudly. He was very much upset and he leaped out of bed and went to the window. Through the window, he began to throw anything he could find at the cats. his boots, soap dish, a comb, a plate, a brush, and so on. What are all the things he could find? He threw that everything. Finally, he managed to get the cats go back inside and remain silent. It seemed silly to continue counting sheep again, but Mr. Fogg wanted to try it one at last time. This time, the trick nearly worked. He started to fell asleep after imagining the 82nd sheep jump over the fence. He was floating gently into the land of dreams, actually. And then that was when his wife rolled out of bed and fell on the floor with a loud thud. The baby woke up and started crying again. Soon, Mr. Fogg's aunt too came in and asked, "Did you feel the earthquake?" She thought that it was an earthquake, but actually, what happened? His wife fell out of the bed. Mr. Fogg did not know what to do. He grabbed a pillow and went to the sofa in the sitting room and lay down there. Soon he fell asleep. When he woke up in the morning, he was quite sure that counting sheep could not help anyone sleep. Let us see some new words. Irritated, meaning annoyed. Tend, to take care of. Backyard, a large open space at the back of a house. Doze off, to go to sleep. Earthquake, a sudden violent shaking of the earth's surface. Imagining, thinking of a picture in his mind. So you have to practice all these new words, children. Then we'll see the grammar part now. Phrase. What is the difference between phrase and a sentence? Shaila plays saucer. I wrote a song. You laughed. They rented a van. So these all the sentences are meaningful, right? So these are all called as sentences. A phrase. What is a phrase? It is a group of words that does not make complete sense. The cat sits on the mat. It is a complete sentence actually. In the above example, on the mat is a phrase because it consists of group of words that does not make complete sense. Example phrases: praying the rosary, the carpenter, a lovely girl, outside the room, the food of the animals. These are all phrases. Noun phrase. A noun phrase is a phrase which has a noun as a head word. Noun will be there. So name of a place or thing or animal, these things these things are called as nouns, right? So the group of words which has a noun, it is called as noun phrase. Two books, much money. So all these are called as noun phrase. Prepositional phrases. So you have to find the preposition there. The book on the shelf is red. It is a sentence actually. If we take the red colored words on the shelf, it has a preposition on, right? So on the shelf is the prepositional phrase. So if a phrase has a noun, then it is called as a noun phrase. If it has a preposition, then it is called as a prepositional phrase. So you have to do this in your course book, children. You are going to tick the correct boxes to mark whether the group of words are phrases or sentences. The postman brings our letters. It is a meaningful sentence, so you have to tick it in the sentence box. Then in the afternoon, it is a phrase. She wakes up early in the morning. It is a sentence. My old school friend. It is a phrase. It is incomplete. In a blue saree. It is also a phrase. We played Ludo for many hours. It is a full, complete sentence. The girls in my class. It is a phrase. The capital of India. It is also a phrase. Then complete these sentences using the correct phrases from the box. They have given some phrases as hints in the box. We have to complete the blanks. Varun does not feel shy to sing in front of a large audience. Next, she got into dash which would take her home, a yellow and black taxi. Arun and his friends enjoy a good game of cricket. I felt scared when I heard a loud clap of thunder. Did you enjoy reading the adventure story I gave you? The big bad wolf followed Little Red Riding Hood. So, these are all prepositional phrases in the backyard, out of bed, in the sitting room. Okay, yes. So, let us underline the prepositional phrases in these sentences. Rakesh is the boy in the blue shirt. We saw a sweet little kitten under a table. Karan went to hide behind the sofa. So, the thing is, we have to find out the preposition in the given sentence. So it is called as a prepositional phrase. The storeroom is filled with broken furniture. Dinesh does his homework with a lot of interest. Mr. Kumar carried the papers in a brown folder. Vocabulary. So you have to find out the antonyms of the words in color. Do you keep your books in the top drawer? No, I keep them in the bottom drawer so that I can reach them easily. Antonyms. If a word is an opposite for another word, then it is called as antonyms. Were the children playing noisily? What is the antonym of noisily? Quietly. No, I thought they played quietly. Do you think it is dangerous to play in the woods? It is quite safe to play there. Come on. Were you asleep when the telephone rang? No, I was wide awake and answered it very quickly. Next one is dictionary work. This one also you have to do it in your course book. So you have to find out which word fits into the given sentence properly. First one, view or sight. I will not let you out of my sight. The view from the mountain top was wonderful. Please remember to water the plants every day. Will you remind me to switch off the computer in the evening? Press this button to start the printer. When will the program begin? Can you tell me the reason for not doing your homework? The purpose of this project is to find out more about solar energy. Yes. Now it is the time to listen to a poem. Bookshop. So much to choose from. So many books are there to choose. Let us take our own time and sit down and look. Books about princesses and witches and fairies. So many types of books are there. Books about monsters and other Harry scaries are also there. Pop-up books to make you laugh. These are all pop-up books. And then waterproof books to take in the bath. Books about making things and things to do. And then books about visit to the farm and the zoo. All the information are there in those books. Books about animals. Books about insects and birds. Books full of pictures. Books full of words. So much to choose from. Let us take our time. How about this one? A book full of rhymes. So, this is the poem by Jane Elizabeth Clark. She is an English writer of children's stories and poems. She just thought of the variety of books available in a bookshop. Right? Yes, children. So, you have to complete the course book back exercises as well as it is given in the video, and then the workbook exercises are given as PDF. Okay, worksheet. You have to do it in your workbook itself, and then book back exercises you can do it in your course book itself. Classwork PDF is also attached, so you have to complete the classwork also.
Yes, children, what we saw in today's class, we saw the lesson, right? And then you have to complete the course book comprehension. Okay, copy that in your course book. and then you have to write the classwork. And then vocabulary and grammar. What we saw? Phrases, right? The difference between phrases and sentences. And then in vocabulary we saw the antonyms, and also you have to do the dictionary work in your course book as well as in your workbook, right? See you in the next class. Thank you.